have a really cute cat story, and I just realized I never told you guys this story. So back in 2017, I was working at the dentist office, and our office had in the operatories, there was big windows and there was a courtyard out there. All of a sudden one day, there's a mom out there with all these kittens. So of course we're all going crazy because we think this is the cutest thing. It was very exciting, right? Dentistry's not that exciting, but this was really exciting that all of a sudden there was a bunch of kittens there. So we go out there, we try to engage them. Mom is not friendly. The kittens are like hissing and spitting. Like I've never seen kittens do this before, but apparently it's a thing kind of feral cats will do. So anyways, so that happened. So we're like, all right, so we just are putting food out there and trying to feed them and get them to maybe love us, but it's not really going that well. And so all of a sudden the mom takes all the other kittens and leaves one behind. And so we're like, that's weird. So we were kind of waiting for her to come back, and then she didn't. In the middle of all this, my boss is in the hospital with terminal cancer. So it's just like, it's just crazy. Like there's so much going on, right? And so now there's just like this lonely kitten out there. We're trying to figure out how to get him to love us. And so the camaraderie at the office is down, and everybody's kind of just figuring out what's going on, and we're all kind of sad. And so we would go sit in the courtyard and have lunch out there to try to get him used to just like people being around. And so we started doing this, and then we would just all sit out there and talk and have lunch. And it was just kind of this weird time. And as we would sit out there, he would get used to us. And so finally he would come over and like kind of reach his paw out, and then we finally like let us touch him. And when we did, it was like the most magical moment ever. So, all right. So now we're in love with him, and I named him Elvis, and I brought him home. Okay. So now we're trying to figure out like what we're going to do with him. And, you know, am I going to keep him? My cat hates him, right? At the time we don't have Carl. We just have Scarlett. She's like 5 years old, and she's not fond of this kitten at all. So, but I don't really know what we're going to do. So I go back to work, and this patient comes in, and sweet lady, and I knew her for a while, and she had on socks with cats. And I said, oh my gosh, I love your socks. Those are so cute. And she says, yeah, I just recently lost my cat. And I was like, oh, how funny. I actually have a cat that I'm looking to find a home for. And she goes, well, is he black? Because I only take black cats. And I said, yeah, actually, he's a black cat. But she goes, nope, they're my favorite. That's all I've ever owned is black cats. And I was like, well, that's crazy. I have a black cat for you. So anyways, in the middle of all this, my boss sadly passes away. So the day after he passes away, I drive to meet her at my work to drop off who she ended up naming Mojo. We named Elvis, but she named him Mojo. And it was just a weird time. Like, you know, it was a really hard time. Nobody kind of knew what was going on and what was going to happen. And, you know, people are sad. They've worked with him for, 20 years and stuff, and longer than that. And so it was just kind of a weird time. And I guess in the middle of all that, to at least save this kitten just made my heart a little happy too. So I don't know. It was just kind of this weird thing that happened. And but it made me think of it today. I'm actually watching my neighbors outside, just kind of little, cat that she feeds and stuff. And so it made me think of kind of how these cats just show up sometimes and leave good impressions on your life. And so it was just a feel good thing that happened in a time that it was kind of not great. So, but anyways, that's my story about Mojo, the cat that showed up at the dentist office, and then of course I took home because that was what I needed to do. So anyways, I just thought I would share that with you guys, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. And if you see a cat outside, feed it, because that's what we do. And obviously, that's a good choice. So, but be ready to just first put it in your garage. That's what I do. I'm always like, oh, I'm just gonna put it in the garage for the night. And then my husband's like, oh, and that's how we ended up with Dolly Parton. So, because I needed 3 cats. Anyways, I'm going on. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, goodbye.